Hi, this is Marshall Malmberg again. The next learning technology that I'm going to go over is the Arri lighting calculator. Arri is the manufacturer of most of our studio lights that we use. So this is a product that's made by them, but it will be helpful to my students for sure, and myself. The ISTE standards for this will be these are the standards for educators. It'll be 5B, which is design authentic learning activities that align with content area standards and use digital tools and resources to maximize active deep learning and create learning opportunities that challenge students to use a design process and computational thinking to innovate and solve problems. I think this lighting calculator will help them do that. What my students have to normally do is to get a blank room, especially in training, and they have to calculate based on how far away the light is and how high it is, using basic geometry, Pythagorean theorem, that sort of thing, and a little bit of trigonometry to figure out how far that the distance is from the light to the person that they were lighting. And I was looking around for lighting stuff, and I came across this lighting calculator, which is actually pretty nice. So I just Googled Arri lighting calculator because this is the manufacturer who makes our stuff, our lights, and this is not hyper advanced, but it definitely will serve the function. So the first thing I do is I'll have my students go into the lamp head setup and they will decide which one we use. Here we have tungsten or daylight. Those are pretty much the ones that we use. So I'll select daylight. And then the group, there's different types. We use Arri Sun and the lamp head, and they will select this based on which lights that we have. Now, these numbers, they understand what these are, but they're just the different types of fixtures and what kind of bulbs they have in them and such. So they'll select focus, which is flood, middle, or spot. And that's just a dial setting that it changes the distance of the reflector to the light bulb itself, and it creates a flood effect or a spotlight effect. The lamp is the bulb that's inside. Now the lenses are glass lenses that are put in front of the fixture to focus it or make it do whatever. So I'll pick super flood. Why not? And then I'll go to measurements, select US because, well, that's what we use. And then using these slides, once they can calculate how far away the light's going to be, let's say it's going to be 60 feet, they can get real close to here, and then they can see that at around 60 feet, they get 170 foot candles, which foot candles is a unit of lighting measurement. They get the beam diameter, which is exactly what it means. The beam is 48 feet wide when it's 60 feet away, and it has this much brightness. And the beam angle is the angle of the beam, how wide it is. We don't use this film exposure index and any of this stuff. I don't really consider that very much. We just try to hit whatever light amount we need. So if they need, let's say, 100 foot candles, sometimes they know that they need 100 foot candles. So you go to 100 foot candles and you see that the light's got to be 75 feet away. And they're like, well, their light is going to be a lot closer than that. What they can do is they can play around with this. They can maybe go to flood. Now it's 65 feet away. And maybe they'll change the lens out, maybe do super flood frosted. And now they can have the light has to be closer to get that same amount. It's a little touchy, but that's all right. It's still something. And once again, the beam diameter is different. The beam angle is a little wider. Beam diameter and such, so on and so forth. So they have this choice to do that for their outdoor lights. That's what these are for. They can also select their indoor lights, and they can mess around with it and select the different watt, like whatever bulb we have. Like let's say we have a 1,000-watt bulb. They can look at the focus again, where that dial is. They can select the lamp, which is the light, Depending if you're in Europe or the States, they would select the appropriate bulb. The lens is a Fresnel lens, and once again, it is a little different. It doesn't use a beam diameter. It is more of a basically how far away you are and what kind of illuminance that you get. So what this allows, and I selected this once again because it allows the students to see the relationships between their, whether they flood or like if you see they flood it for around that same distance, you get a lot less luminance, but the beam diameter is greater and that sort of thing. It allows them to virtually set up events. They could know how many lights they need to do what they need to do. The audience for this are my students. Another audience is also, we have people that are already traveling and setting up these lights. So this resource will help them make the best use of their lights and be the most efficient and know exactly what they're going to be doing and what they're going to be getting before they even set up the lights. So I think this is a useful little, I don't know if it's an app, but I suppose it's a website, but I like it. Thanks.